Grab your deer stalker, throw on that trench coat and have your notepad at the ready because everyone's favourite little yellow lightning bolt is back in the latest Pokemon spin-off, Detective Pikachu.
Hey, Tim, do you think you could help us out?
I'm gonna start by speaking with his friends and co-workers.
Developed by game studio Creatures, Detective Pikachu is a point-and-click style adventure game for the 3DS. You play as Tim Goodman, a young man who's come to Rhyme City to look for his missing father. That is before he runs into the cute, squeaky voice ball of lightning himself.
Pika! Pika, 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 pika!
You heard that too, right?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what I was expecting to come out of the mouth of this cute little creature, but the voice of a rugged, grumpy, middle-aged man was not it.
You're stretching out my ears. Would you let me go?
It just doesn't fit with this idea of what I think Pikachu should sound like.
Hello, hello.
Darren? What happened to your voice?
So kind of used to notice. I heard you were playing Detective Pikachu, and I thought I'd try out my new voice modulator. I can be anyone now, even you.
My name is Goose, and I'm the noobiest of noob kind. Oh.
Okay, Darren, that's going a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's not fair at all. First Pikachu, now Darren? This is too many layers of wrong.
Well, this Pikachu is a wisecracking, no-nonsense, coffee-drinking super sleuth who just so happens to be your father's former business partner. And you are the only human who can understand him. Together, you'll set out to get to the bottom of the strange Pokemon attacks plaguing the city, find out what your father was investigating and what it had to do with his disappearance.
Mysterious. The story is made up of 9 chapters that break down the main case into smaller mysteries that you'll need to solve. To do this, you'll be talking to witnesses, gathering evidence, and looking for clues. That's where the great Detective Pikachu comes in. He'll translate for any Pokemon you speak to and gather useful information from them to help your investigation.
Which you'll store in your handy-dandy notebook. Here you'll find any and all information you and Pikachu collect in case lists. When it's time to make your deductions, head over to your case notes where Pikachu will prompt you with questions that need to be answered to solve the mystery.
I'm glad they went with old school pen and paper instead of a smartphone or some other piece of whiz-bang pokey tech. Made me feel like a slick detective in an old black and white movie, see?
It's got that classic whodunit vibe while still holding on to that lovely, colourful Pokemon charm. You'll often find yourself roped into 2 or more cases at a time, each one offering up a piece of the overall puzzle. Early on, I spoke to a man who had lost his pen, only for the pen to become a key piece of evidence later on down the track.
Looks like my prediction was right on.
I love that everything felt connected somehow.
Totally, and it keeps the momentum going as well. At one point, I had to make juice for a Klefki so it would let me into a locked room I needed to investigate. But I couldn't make the juice until I'd completed an experiment for someone else. So even if the tasks aren't super interesting, you always feel like you're progressing in some way.
I just wish the gameplay was more involved. Besides a few quick-time events and a bit of button mashing, Detective Pikachu is little more than a string of simplistic puzzles, the majority of which see you arranging items or testimonies into the correct combination to solve the case. And when a puzzle's that easy, I don't feel like I've earned that victory, you know? I want to work for it.
Yeah, I agree. The solutions are very easy. A couple of times I'd even guess the answer, but because you can't progress without gathering all the clues, I was running around picking up pieces to a puzzle I'd already solved. Even if you do get stuck, you can always ask Pikachu for inspiration, but he'll just give you the answer.
Oh, I got it.
That aside, I do feel what the game lacks in challenge, it makes up for in character. Despite the initial shock, Pikachu's voice really brings together this old-school, classic detective persona. He's also really funny, giving Tim tips, showing off his moves, and just milking this too-old-for-your-nonsense attitude.
That was a close one.
Well, you know how I feel about that voice, but I have to admit eventually I did even find myself warming to the old-timer. He really does give off the impression of an old man trapped in a Pikachu's body.
While I would have liked some tougher challenges, Detective Pikachu still kept my interest with its colourful world and poster character. It's short, it's sweet, and most importantly, it's fun. I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
While I probably won't be picking this up again, I think I ended up enjoying Detective Pikachu more than the last main Pokemon game. I'm giving this 3 out of 5 rubber chickens. Quick, give me your best Detective Pikachu voice.
Pika!
Hey, what you doing? Hey. I'm not very good at it.